Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a come book shopping with me kind of video, in that I have 2 free book credits from Thrift Books, which is a great little used online bookstore that I really enjoy. I like getting a lot of books from there. They do have kind of reduced new prices and they usually have a pretty good selection of used books, which I really prefer used books because they're cheaper, and I just kind of like the feel of a used book. It's nice. And I don't think they're owned by Amazon, which is really great, although these days almost everyone is owned by Amazon, so maybe they are owned by Amazon, who knows. But anyway, they also have this rewards program where every dollar you spend goes towards points, and you can also earn points other ways. And I have 2 free book rewards, one of which is expiring at the end of this month. So I need to pick what books I'm going to acquire using my free book reward. So it's a book that's less than $6, which a lot of their older titles are less than $6. So I've determined 12 books from my high priority list of books that I don't own but I'm really interested in, and I'm gonna just read the first couple minutes of each book on my Kindle and then rank them, and then we're gonna decide together which books I am going to be buying with my free book credit. So let's just get into the books. So the first book that I'm going to be reading a quick sample from is Blacklight Stories by Kimberly King Parsons. This is a short story collection from 2018, I want to say, and I was interested in this one because I think I heard they're kind of Black Mirror short stories, and I think also maybe this collection was one where Kimberly King Parsons has blurred other books that I've really enjoyed, so I wanted to check out her work. I also really like short stories, so I thought I'd give this a go. Now I'm going to read the first couple minutes and I will come back and let you know what I thought of it. Okay, so I just read the first 4 minutes of that first story, which was called Guts, and it was about a girl who was dating a doctor, and I guess she, once she starts dating him, can see ailments on people or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it seems that it's kind of speculative in some nature, but more fabulism way, and less so otherworldly fantasy. But I'm not entirely sure that this is a collection that I would super enjoy. The writing was fine, but just nothing, not exactly the type of writing that I love in short stories. Very kind of matter of fact, and maybe the stories would end well, but I don't think this will be one. But it's gonna be number 1 for now until I read the next ones, and I will kind of resort the rankings. So then the next one is gonna be Barbara Kingsolver's The Bean Trees. I've read pretty much all of Barbara Kingsolver's work, and The Bean Trees is one of the last ones I've got to read, which is also one of her more popular ones. And this one's about a young woman, and she somehow acquires a toddler while she's on a road trip somewhere, and the 2 of them kind of continue on the journey together, is I believe what this story's about. So I'm gonna read the first 5 minutes of it and get back to you shortly. Okay, I just read the first 4 minutes of The Bean Trees, and classic Barbara Kingsolver, small town. I think it'll be interesting because a lot of her narrators are older women, and this is a teenager, younger person. It actually reminded me a bit of Anne Patchett's The Patron Saint of Liars, which I think these are from the same era of early 90s, and I feel it'd be fun. So this is number 1 for now, and then Blacklight has been booted down to number 2. Number 3 is Bride of the Sea by Iman Quota. This was a debut novel that came out at the beginning of 2021, and unfortunately the copy on Thrift Books is an ex-library copy, which I don't love, but I still do want to try this out because this was a debut novel that I was really excited about. So I will give it a shot and let you know what I think. I just read for 4 minutes in The Bride of the Sea by Iman Quota, and that was actually the first 2 chapters and then a bit of the 3rd chapter, which I usually like books that have short chapters, and I also was really intrigued about this one. So we began in 2018 with the daughter of, I think, a couple that we met then in the 2nd chapter, whose mother has just died, and then we go back in time to the 1970s, and we meet the couple who do not seem very happy with one another. They're both incredibly young, in their early 20s, living in Cleveland, Ohio, and they're from Saudi Arabia, and I believe I remember that they get divorced. I think the mother disappears. So part of the book is about the kind of devolution of their marriage, and the other part is about Hannah in the more present day timeline trying to find her mother and just learn more about her. So I'm intrigued about this one. I think I might actually boot it up to number 1, which will make Bean Trees 2nd and Blacklight 3rd. And then the next one I'm going to read is actually a sample from a different collection by Eliza Griffiths. So the one that's available on Thrift Books is Lighting the Shadow, but that one, for whatever reason, you can't get on Kindle. So I don't have a sample of it to read, but I do have seeing the body. So I'm gonna just read a sample of this to get a sense of her poetry. I am kind of in the mood or interested in reading more poetry, so I'm hoping that this one is good. I just read a bit of the Rachel Eliza Griffiths collection. While I am interested in reading her poetry, I think I'm not going to buy this collection right now just because I'm not sure that she's entirely the type of poetry that I would like. I'm still really experimenting with what type of poetry I like, and I'm just not sure if this one would be for me. So I'm gonna put this one as number 4 on the list right now and read the next one, which is A Heart of Blood and Ashes. This one is a fantasy, or not really fantasy, I guess fantasy, romance novel that's set in like prehistoric times or something. I don't know. I'm intrigued about it. I've heard kind of mixed things from like the romance readers that I follow here on BookTube, and it has a pretty wild looking cover. So we're gonna give this a shot. I think I have actually read the first couple pages of this before, so we'll see if I remember it. I just read the first couple minutes of A Heart of Blood and Ashes, and I am definitely intrigued about this one. I feel like though it'll be a better pick for the library because in the end, I'm really not sure how I will feel about it, but I definitely am intrigued. So I ranked it number 3 on the list. And then the next book that I'm going to be sampling is Friday Black. This is another short story collection, and this one I think also is somewhat speculative about the Black experience in America. I just finished the first couple minutes of Friday Black, the short story collection by Nana Kwame Adejuyigbrena, I think is how you say his name. And this one started off really intensely. The first story is about, these are also speculative in nature, and the first story is about a black man. And in his world, blackness is like ranked on a scale from 0 to 10, it would seem. And it also was talking about a recent trial that had just taken place regarding the murder of like 5 Black children in a really brutal way, and the person was acquitted of all charges. So I think the collection as a whole is really going to kind of dive very deeply into issues related to white supremacy and racism and living and existing as a Black person in the United States. So I'm really intrigued about this collection. So I think I'm going to rank this actually number 1 for now. This was really interesting, and I feel like would be a really strong, solid collection. And I feel like I heard really good things about this collection too when it came out a couple years ago. I just never got around to it. And then the next one is The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer. I really enjoy Meg Wolitzer. Kind of the opposite. She writes about like upper middle class white people, but I think she writes about that demographic in a really interesting way, and I always just really enjoyed her novels. This is her most recent book that actually is now several years old, probably like 2018 as well, and I just have always wanted to read it. I've heard pretty good things about it from other Meg Wolitzer fans, so I'm gonna give this a try. I just read the first couple pages of The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer, and I think I am really gonna like this one. It's set at first in a college setting, like an elite private liberal arts college, which I love, and I feel like Meg Wolitzer will be able to capture that sense very well. I'm going to rank this right below Friday Black because I am really excited about this one now, and I think I will like it quite a lot. So the next one is Your Duck is My Duck, which is another short story collection. The next 2 actually are short story collections. And this one's by Deborah Eisenberg, and I think I heard Rebecca from Rebecca Eats Books talking about this one, and she really enjoyed it earlier this year. So I've read the first couple pages of Your Duck is My Duck, and I was intrigued about this one. I definitely still want to read this collection, I think, but I don't think it's going to push really any of my top 4 from their spot. So I guess I'll put this at number 5 along with A Heart of Blood and Ashes, like that level of the rankings. I definitely am interested in getting to this one at some point. I do know that this one's not available from the library, I think, so I may, if I want to read it, have to get it actually physically from the library, which I don't do all that often, but I obviously could, or purchase it later at some point. But yeah, this one is not quite doing it for me as much as some of the other ones have been so far. And then the next one is another short story collection, as I said, called The Unamericans by Molly Antipole. This one I heard about because I was reading Site Fidelity earlier this year, which is one of my favorite books that I've read all year, and Molly Antipole actually blurbed Site Fidelity. So I was intrigued to read her short story collection, which I think is also not available from the library. I've read the first couple of pages of The Unamericans, and again, similarly with Your Duck is My Duck, I'm intrigued about this collection. I probably want to read it at some point, but I don't think it's going to be at the top of my list right now, so I'm going to bump it to around the number 5 spot. And then I do have 3 more books that I have to read or sample, but I have to go now. So I will read and sample those ones and check in about them later today once I'm back. Hello everyone, I am back from my errands. So we're gonna wrap up these next 3 samples, and then I'm gonna figure out which ones I'm going to be buying. So the next one I'm going to be sampling is The House at the Edge of the Night. This one, I don't honestly remember where I came across this one. I feel like I must have heard someone talking about it really highly, and I put it on my like high priority list, and I don't honestly know a ton about it. I do know that it's like about an Italian family. It has very kind of like more commercial fiction-y cover, so I'm very intrigued about this one, but I am still looking forward to it. Wow, that was actually really quite intense. So this is, it seems, a like longer family story that begins with a doctor in 1914 leaving his wife, who is about to have a baby, to go help another woman in the town who it sounds is of some importance. I forget what her title was, but everyone believes that that baby is also his. And so there was a lot of drama already. So honestly, I'm pretty intrigued. So I think I might actually bump this above the Female Persuasion. As much as I really want to read the Female Persuasion, I feel like this one will be really interesting and good. So I'm gonna bump this one up, but still keep Friday Black as the number 1. So then that leaves 2 more. So the next one is gonna be Autumn by Ali Smith, which I've wanted to read for quite a while. I just feel like I will enjoy Ali Smith, and obviously this is a very well-loved book here on BookTube, so I'm excited to give it a try. I've never read any Ali Smith before, so I just read the first couple minutes of Autumn by Ali Smith, and I'm intrigued about it. I definitely do think I still want to read it, but I don't think this is like super high on my priority list, so I'm not sure where I would put it, but you know, since the lower rankings matter less, somewhere in that like lower ranking around like the other short story collections and stuff, just because it was not at me, particularly in its like experimental nature as much as some of the other stories. So that brings me to my last one, which is The Woman of Brewster Place by Gloria Naylor. This is another short story collection, except it's more kind of cohesive in its short stories. And I've heard really good things about this one, and I know it's pretty short. I just read the like first chapter of The Woman of Brewster Place, and I'm really interested in this one. And I feel like I will also really like it because it is using a format that I really like, which is a novel and stories, and also talking about things that are of interest to me, like kind of community making and stuff. I feel like I will like this one. However, I don't know if it's gonna boot off Friday Black or The House at the Edge of the Night, but I think I might read a few reviews of both these books and also check another used bookstore just to like see how available these books are. So I'll do that and then kind of check back with my like final findings and the 2 books that I'm planning on buying. Alright everyone, so after some careful consideration and reading some reviews and stuff, I have decided which 2 books I'm going to be buying, and those are The Woman of Brewster Place by Gloria Naylor and The House at the Edge of the Night by Catherine Banner. These 2 just feel, one, very like different from one another, but also both books that I feel like I will really like. I really like family sagas and also stories that kind of span a bunch of different characters, and both of these I feel like will do that for me. So I'm really excited about these 2 books. So thank you so much for coming along this like fun little journey with me. I hope this was enjoyable. If you're interested, I'm happy to kind of do like a vlog or something talking about my thoughts or feelings about either of these 2 books once they actually arrive. And if you are new to my channel, obviously please do stick around and subscribe if you would like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.